Hello everyone, this is Sunil Kalbandi. Welcome to another episode. In this episode, I'm going to go through how much you need to save for retirement. So the concept I'll be covering today is 4% rule. You might have heard this concept as 4% safe withdrawal, or just a safe withdrawal, or 4% safe withdrawal. So all refers to the same thing. This, in my opinion, is one of the easiest and the best ways to figure out how much you need for your retirement. So let's define what a safe withdrawal rate is. The safe withdrawal rate is the maximum amount of money you can withdraw from your retirement fund without running out for your lifetime. So anything with finance is covered with controversy. But let's start with, you might argue, how do I know this money is going to be okay for my retirement? Or will a dozen egg cost $6, or will it cost $60 in 20 years, 30 years? I don't know. Yeah, you don't know, or anybody who's saying they know, they're just lying. We can't predict, but we can use history as an average how the economy has been doing, and that's what we're going to do in this one. So the easiest way to do is you need to know how much you're spending per month. So you need to know how much you're spending per month. That's the only criteria you need to have, is you need to understand what you need for your lifestyle and multiply that by 20 to 25 times the cost. So if your expenses are 1,000, so your yearly expenses is 12,000, you multiply that by 20 or 25. So that's the worst case scenario. So 20 being optimistic and 25 being a little more realistic in my terms. So how does it work? So assuming there's a pot of money ideally saved in an index fund in stocks and pension, and historically it has given 8% returns or 7% returns. So you get 7% and you take 3% as inflation, and the remaining 4% is what you can leave off your life. So that is what safe withdrawal rate is. So I can hear people whining and ready to put in some comments saying that no, this doesn't work. So let's look at the history of SP 500. So that's where mostly me and my family, we've been investing into the Global Index Fund, or SP 500. If you're interested in what the stock fund other things is, like put in another video, you can watch that. So last 30 to 40 years, it has on an average made more than 7 or 8%. So there are times like 2008, in my lifetime, 2008, 2011, 2012, 2020, the coronavirus, 2022, the Ukraine war, all has huge impact in the economy. So currently, right now, I'm in UK, so there's about 7.8 to 8% inflation. So you might argue, depending on which year you were born, people might do better, or depending on if you're born or if you're trying to save in a worse time, you might lose money. So I don't have to do any of the studies because a lot of people have done those studies. Some of them were popular ones is the Trinity Study, where they did multiple couples in different scenarios to know what the maximum withdrawal rate should be. And one of the reasonable person, Wade Pafan, Wadepafan. If you look at the graph, so the worst case scenario is 4%. So we should be okay to withdraw 4% if you have a pot of money. So the critics they were saying it's impossible. The money won't last for a long time. But also what they don't take into consideration is multiple things. One is you might be self-employed. You might be still getting some sort of money from somewhere else. Nobody is saying that you're not going to get money from your NI contribution. That is in UK. So we get state pension and NI function. And then there is an adjustment. So as an example, during COVID, we didn't travel. We were perfectly fine. And if the inflation or a price of the fuel goes really high, we'll adjust that. And then also we will travel less. So these are all under our control. So there's a pot of money. If something changes, we can always adjust to that particular year. It's not a fixed thing. We can always adjust. So right now you might be thinking, well, the 4% sounds good. Let me give my personal example. So we are a family of four. We are in Cambridge. So we spend about £5,000 per month. Sounds a lot, but almost 38% of it is mortgage. So I pay 38% of it for mortgage. So within 10 years or 15 to 20 years, depending on what we choose, we can repay the mortgage. So when I retire, my mortgage is not going to be there. So let's say 2,000 of the 5,000 goes into mortgage. My kids will be grown up. And then also we know historically, and then also talking to your parents or somebody who's elder, old parents, we don't spend too much. Not we, they don't spend too much. So I'm saying that when we grow old, we're not going to be spending at the same level as we are spending right now. So there's a lot of contingency within this 4%. So in my case, 5,000 with the safe withdrawal rate, if you calculate by 25, I need 1.5 million. I feel that is a bit too much. In our case, once we repay the mortgage, let's say we have a 3,000 roughly monthly expenses. So we will need about 800 to 900,000. So 800 to 900,000 is what we are aiming for, and that's what our retirement pot should be. And 4% of it every year is what we need to live comfortably. And the pot of money, in theory, will stay there for a very long time. So few years we'll get more than 7%, and few years it'll be less than 7%. So when you get more, you don't spend, and when you get less, you use the time when there is more profit, and then that's how you manage and you maintain. So hope this tutorial help you, and if you like and subscribe, it'll make a big help to me to it'll help me to make more videos like this and spread these videos to more people. So till next time, thank you and bye.